We built a 3-camera live stream setup in our living room. The camera worked, the audio worked, the switcher worked, and we still went live 3 hours late.
I wanted today to be the first time that we're not late. And I still have to set all this shit up.
The gear wasn't the problem, it was the live room.
I was ready. I had my markers, my glue, my sticky notes, and my giant podcast growth board. We were supposed to go live at 11.
Oh no, it's broken.
We went live at 2.
1, 2, 3.
So while Steven was emergency programming on the side of the couch, I was sitting on the rug wondering how my cute little craft live stream project turned into a NASA launch.
Right, so I figure the best way for me to get this all set up is after putting the young kid to sleep. My mind is still on fire, still up, so I'm sharp.
Steven knew if this setup waited until morning, we were going to be in trouble.
So I figure for this crazy creative setup that Veronica has in mind, that right now would probably be a better time to at least get the live stream, multicam podcast setup going on. The command center, or the brains of the operation, is going to be the YoloBox Extreme. All right, it's pushing midnight now, but I think I'll sleep more easily knowing that this is ready in the morning for Veronica's live stream. I'm not sure if you can tell, I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna flip all these lights off. The man you're talking to right now is not the same man you will be talking to in the morning.
The whole idea started because I didn't want my show, Yap Your Way, to feel like a webinar. I wanted it to feel like a 90s kid craft project for all of my 90s kids out there who were building poster boards at 11 p.m. at night on a Sunday. I imagine that you want the circles to be perfectly...
No, I don't care.
I think you do.
No, I don't.
I wanted to sit on the rug and build the board live, add the sticky notes, paste all of the collage pieces, and explain how somebody can go from 0 subscribers all the way to 1,000 true people. This is so cute. I also love this stuff. Markers, glue, little cutout pieces. So yes, it was strategic, but it was also a way for me to have fun.
Oh, that's so cute.
And Steven was excited too. Maybe a little too excited.
So when Veronica first told me about her idea about the poster board and everything, at first I was like, oh, brother. But quickly the wheels started turning and I got excited. But then I realized, how do I take this over without her realizing that I've taken it over?
I'm surprised you're letting me do this.
Why do you say that?
Because it's been a thing in the past that you love this type of...
I'm controlling, is that what you're trying to say?
No, you like this type of projects and you like them to be in a certain way.
Oh, I'm a perfectionist. We're out of time.
I started it because it was my idea. And the whole point was for it to feel handmade, playful, and not perfect.
Now, in my defense, I was not trying to take over the board. I was just trying to make it more readable, more legible, give a better experience to the audience. I guess that was taking over, but for good reasons.
And that sentence right there tells you everything you need to know about working with Steven.
That's a pretty big boo-boo.
Well, does it matter?
It does.
Why?
Well, now we have the time to fix up your poster mistakes. We could even just cut that.
But I will admit, the board did look better. So the board became a whole marriage test.
This is all wrong!
But the bigger question was, how do we make this work live?
And that's where the 3-camera setup comes in. The setup itself was really solid. We didn't just want one shot of Veronica and one shot of the presentation board, but we also wanted a shot with Veronica and the board in the shot together. That third shot isn't just effective because it gives the audience kind of context and brings them into the scene and the experience more, but it also gives us a third shot in the edit later, which makes it easier for us to hide jump cuts and gives us more flexibility to cut out spots without the audience noticing. The OBSBOT Tail 2 was our main host shot. That was Veronica sitting on the rug, talking directly to the audience with subtle AI tracking as she moved back and forth. Now, camera 2 was the YoloCam S7. This was the above shot, the presentation board, probably the most important of all the shots, because if the audience couldn't clearly see the board, then the whole concept didn't work.
And that shot actually looked really good. The board was readable. You could see the sticky notes and all of the little things that we were adding to the board, and people were able to see everything as I was building it.
And then the YoloCam S3, our third shot, was the high wide angle looking down. That one showed Veronica and the board together, so it didn't just seem like it was just cutting between a face and a piece of paper.
And if you want a list of the equipment that we use for this exact setup, comment living room and we'll share the link with you. This is where I was smiling, but inside I was thinking I wanted just markers and glue, and he brought a whole broadcast system. By the time we were supposed to go live, the living room was ready, the equipment was ready. The live room was not.
So, yes, ran into some hurdles. It didn't take long for me to realize that the live room was the problem. The room that I built myself inside of Podcast Your Way, and that we were locked out. I broke it.
It's not gonna function. It's not gonna work.
And if you're liking this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up.
What we're doing right now, though, is using this as an opportunity to really lock in our live events room and kind of reconfigure it and redesign it so that if this happens again, we won't be so restricted. So we weren't fighting the cameras or the setup or even the board. What we were fighting is the fact that we couldn't even go live. We couldn't even connect to our audience.
And I kept thinking, why we don't just go live on YouTube and then upload it to Podcast Your Way? But I also didn't fully understand how the platform worked, so I stayed quiet, very professional. Like, come on, let's go. When Steven gets stressed, he gets snappy and he gets tosco.
What were you saying about my perfectionism?
That I knew you were going to take over this. All of my work is gone?
Your work's not gone, it's just being fixed. See, so this portion...
There was nothing to fix. And I get very nervous because I don't know how to help. The whole tech equipment is his world. The platform is his world. And programming is definitely his world.
Being late is like, I don't know what happened to me when I was a kid, but it was bad, apparently. Because like, my anxiety goes through the roof. Like, I just am just so uptight about being late. And I happen to be with a woman who is perpetually late.
When we say we go live at 11 a.m. Eastern time every Wednesday, I want us to be there at 11 a.m. Eastern time every Wednesday. It's 10:59 a.m. and Veronica's still over on the kitchen table gluing pieces of stuff to her board.
That's where we're at with that. Just a giant failure on the live stream today in terms of actually showing up live. So big wah wah.
Things started to work again and we were ready to go live.
And that's when I added the thing that we should have had from the very beginning. So the first thing I had to fix was the camera permissions and the microphone permissions so that we could get back in. But then as I was doing that, like I said, I realized the bigger problem was that the live stream just kicks into action at 11 a.m. sharp, whether we're there or not.
Which I think is a little aggressive because there are so many things that can go wrong, like in this case.
So now we have a go live button. Whenever we're ready, we press go live, the timer kicks into action, and our stream gets sent to YouTube.
Once it finally started working, I felt relieved. But then I was like, okay, now I'm supposed to bring up the energy and host this live stream. Like, I've been waiting here for 3 hours. I don't have the energy.
And 1, 2, 3.
How do we go from 0 subscribers all the way to 1,000 subscribers for our podcast? That's the question that we all have when we just get started with podcasting. That's why I decided to address that today. So 3 hours late with the live room fixed and the cameras ready and the board more polished that I originally planned, we went live finally. And the annoying thing is that the board looked a lot better, that he was able to set up all that equipment and also to fix the live room. He did all that and I have to give it to him.
So it all worked. It looks great. And it actually fulfilled Veronica's vision. And I think it was one of the best looking live streams we ever did. And not only did we go live to YouTube, but we also did go live through our platform, which allowed us to test and be more prepared for next week. And the other reason that this setup and the testing mattered so much to me was for what happened after we went live. So this is where the whole setup really pays off, and it's in the editing flexibility. Recording with YoloBox provides you 2 routes, and both of them are 4K routes. The first is to use what's called the program, which is all of the cameras combined in one. Whichever one you're switched to, that's what's called a program. There is the above YoloCam S7 shot. Here is the S3 shot, and there is the shot for the OBSBOT Tail 2. So it's basically your camera switched performance that the live audience saw, but now at a 4K high resolution video file. It has the condensed file itself, right? So this is, you can see here, this is the camera switching as I scrub through this video. So the camera switching is printed onto the file. This is a really great option for many of us because now the camera switching is done. But the second route is to use the ISO files, which is all of the camera recording separately as their own 4K file, which gives you ultimate flexibility in the edit. This unlocks even more control because now I can color treat each one of these with some color correction, and you can also color balance. And like in the case of this, where one of the shots here, for example, was this white page with graphics on it. Well, with the graphics, we would want to really have sharpness, and also we want to probably reduce a lot of the white out of this image. So look at the difference before and after the color correction, the way that this pops here. That's with color correction, this is without it. You can essentially then put all of these together inside of a nest, or what's called a nested sequence. And then when you pop back over here, now I have a multicam sequence. And this is the power and why I love Adobe Premiere so much, is you can use this multicam sequence editing. So look, I'm switching between the cameras, and I can do that as I cut and edit the video. So now I can have the precise decision of when to switch to the camera, which likely in the edit, I'm gonna be able to make a lot better decisions than I was in the live realm when I'm sitting there trying to play with little pieces of paper and shit.
So after all that chaos, we didn't just get a live stream, we got a YouTube video, shorts, and clips, and a workflow that we can repeat over and over.
So this is the real lesson for creators, and this is why I love multicam video podcast live streaming, because I really think it's the best of all of the worlds. You can go live to multiple platforms all at the same time, but then you can repurpose all of that footage and edit it into a more refined, better version of the live stream that can be uploaded to YouTube and uploaded to multiple video platforms than it really is just show up once a week and then blast your content everywhere.
So this started as a cute idea. I wanted to sit on the floor and teach podcasters how they can get their first 1,000 subscribers.
And it turned into a 3-camera live stream setup, a platform bug, a go live button, and a reminder that every live show needs a fallback plan.
My lesson was that casual doesn't mean unplanned. If you want to be relaxed during your live stream, it's important that you have a system in place.
My lesson, the live show should not be the test environment. Test the gear, test the platform, test the host path, and test the viewer path.
And maybe finish the craft by 10:45.
That too.
And that's my show, Yap Your Way. Sometimes it's a stress test, sometimes it's fun, and markers and glue and sticky notes. The link of the live stream is in the description, so go check it out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're gonna be here next week testing more live stream setups, more studio setups, so make sure that you are here next week. If you are interested in learning about more live stream setups like this, make sure that you check out this playlist right here. I will see you next week. Mwah, 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 mwah.